happy April. I can't even believe that we're in April 2024 already. It's kind of wild because time is just kind of like, what is that? What is that little thing that we talk about? But in today's video, we're discussing April 2024, some of the energy, what you might be feeling, some key dates to look out for. I'm going to channel my guides and see what they have to say about it. There's so much to unpack, so let's get started. I have my at-home cocktail tray. It was my birthday last weekend, and a dear friend of mine, she made me, literally every time I sit down in this chair, it's like sitting in a cloud. So here for it. And I have to like move the table and everything over because it just, I feel like I'm in my spaceship and I'm just talking to you across time and space. I'll make sure that you can see because I'm in my Jedi ensemble. When I light this candle, it's evergreen eucalyptus. Can you smell it? So good. It is so good. And oh yeah, it was my birthday last weekend, and my dear friend, she made me some amazing energy balls. I'm enjoying them, and some dried pineapple. The table is a little bit of a mess, but it is the eclipse. It is the full moon eclipse as I record this, so I'm here for it, and I'm very excited about it. On the 25th, is today the 25th? Yeah, it's the 25th of March. So I'm getting so much more comfortable just letting the energy channel through me and go with it. And on these big, very powerful days, my channeling is as clear as can be. So I wanted to invite my guides in for this one and really just give you the most accessible information that I possibly can. So if this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Sarah. I am a channel. I channel information from source for the collective. I'm here to help you make sense of the woo-woo. I work with empowered leaders, and my human stories, I come from corporate and was training teams, and regardless of the job or the title, for over 10 years. So I kind of amalgamize growth mindset, leadership growth and development, integrating some metaphysical practices already into your already busy life, and just kind of give you some guiding tips along the way. So please go grab your coffee or tea. I have some espresso. It's a little like watered down espresso. I'm trying not to go crazy with it. I have some warm water and my snacks. So please go grab your journal, go grab your coffee and tea. And I'm going to use my little dictionary for the pause. Because there's no better joy in this world than educating yourself. It's funny, this is just popping into my head. When I had to grow up very young, and I had to move out when I was 17, 18 years old. And when I first started in service, I was very insecure about the fact that I wasn't in the school system, I wasn't in the university and things like that. And, I was intimidated by some of the people that I was waiting on. I was working at nicer restaurants and kind of working my way up the how do I say? It wasn't a ladder. Working I was my Rocky montage, basically. I'm gonna make sure you can hear me. My hair's not hitting the microphone. And so one of the things that I did was I would, educate myself as often as I could to sound eloquent and to, trick people into thinking that I was smart and things like that. But, as we know now, I'm so grateful that I wasn't meant for the university system, and I'm so grateful that I never went into that system. It would have been another lens that I had to, extract myself from. But so I've always had a little dictionary, and there were times in my life that I would have so many dictionaries where I would have a more accessible dictionary, and then like a kid's dictionary, and then an adult dictionary, and all those different things. So one of my biggest good job, Sarah, is that I will never stop learning. Never, ever, ever stop learning. And so I love educating myself. This is my, from Collins Street in Australia when I used to live there. I just brought this back with me. Yeah, this is more travel than lots of people. This comes from Australia. So I wanted to, because the title of this video is Be a Pioneer. And for people that are on the awakened path, you get what that means. for leaders, for entrepreneurs, for, small business owners, or, content creators that are now small business owners, you get what that means. But I wanted to see what this little dictionary said about being a pioneer. Explorer or early settler of a new country, organization, or developer of something new. Be the pioneer or leader of. I loved that. I loved that leader was right there. And so before I even get into the astrology, which this is the general wheel behind me, starts over here in Aries, and this is your chair over here. So yes, if you're new to my table, it's literally just you and I having coffee. And I'm so grateful for YouTube for teaching you, if you're new here, about the quantum world, about quantum physics and multidimensionality, where it's just you and I having coffee and talking about April 2024, but where are you on the planet? What time is it at that area of the planet? What is time? I recorded this in March and you're watching this in April. Or when are you watching this? Yeah, when are you watching this? Comment below. Let me know where you are on the planet and what you're going through. I'm in Gloucester in the North Shore of Massachusetts. It's Massachusetts. I've made the joke so many times that I naturally say Massachusetts. Massachusetts. I just need to say that. I just needed to say that. Oh, that was another thing that I did. And I will timestamp all this so you can just go to the timestamps if you don't want to just hang out with me for a minute. And yes, that was one thing that when I first started working at one of my favorite restaurant jobs I've ever had, the OG, I had adapted because everybody was, in my view, like upwardly mobile and I was intimidated, so I had adapted a Katharine Hepburn accent. How do you like your steak this evening, darling? And I couldn't say like in a different way. It was like, how do you like your steak tonight? So I've done the same thing with Massachusetts. So I'm gonna just reel it in, girl, reel it in. So let me give you the dates. Yeah, let's go over the dates. So what I'm going to do is list out the dates for you, and then I'm going to go through them one by one. And as I'm talking to you, it's the full moon eclipse. So I'm in it. You're in it. We're in it. So I'm excited that this is the way that I'm presenting for this video, because as we all know, if you've been here with me for a while, I invoke kind of the energy of what's coming. And so being a pioneer as a human being right now, we have no idea what we're doing. We're figuring it out, truly. And so let me paint the dramatization. Pretend you are one of the first, settlers. Pretend you are, and this has nothing to do with, how do I say? If we know that history repeats itself, and we know that we're in a quantum multiverse, that everything is happening all at the same time. There were people that got in a ship and crossed an ocean and said to their family, I will send back for you. I might die in the process, but hopefully I won't, and hopefully I'll find land, and hopefully I'll figure it out, and then I'll send back for you, and then you can come. Covered wagons, getting into the covered wagon, say, I'm going out west. I don't know what's out there, but I am going, figuring it out. In every alien movie, in every, Alice in Wonderland, when you're like, I gotta touch the mirror dimension, I gotta go in there, I gotta go into a plasma screen that I don't know what's behind that. We're going first. And as human beings, we signed up for this. So remember, time out, just check in with your soul, check in with your higher self. Our humans might be scared because we don't know what's about to happen. Our humans might be like, oh my God, this astrologer is saying that the lights are gonna go out, and this person is saying this, and this person is saying that. None of what anyone is putting out there is meant to be fear-based, hopefully, in my book, in my playbook. So if people are saying these things, do whatever you feel like you need to do to not feel scared. If you're worried that the lights are gonna go out, then get a few things of food that you just don't have to cook. Get some protein powder, get some mixed nuts, get some things you don't have to worry about. Do things to prevent the fear. So I just wanted to say that. Because the first person to get in a car, to get in a ship, to get in a covered wagon, and to be a pioneer in the old ways, they were terrified, I'm sure. They had no idea what they were doing. Think of, for my homeschoolers, Or for my entrepreneurs, my small business owners. When you started, you had no idea what you were doing. You had no idea how to do what you're doing. You still to this day probably have moments of like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this. But you did all the little things to calm your nervous system, to unpack your childhood traumas and your adolescent ways, do all of the growth mindset, have your morning procedures, your routine, have a sacred space, utilize plant medicine if that's your language, remove things from your life that you know are toxic and inappropriate, all of the things. We're doing all of the things. So I just wanted to say that more often than not, adulting is feeling that rage fear and saying, you know what, I'm going to calm that. I'm going to deal with that. I'm not my childhood self anymore. I'm doing a lot of this for my ancestors, for everyone in my line. I'm going to do it anyways. Yeah. I loved that phrasing that I had heard a long time ago, which is the only difference between you and the people that are balling is audacity. It's audacity. So you just got to have the audacity to do it. There are people that do not have your skill sets that are thriving. So I'm just saying, the world needs you. So I'm going to give you the dates now, just so you have them, and then I'll go over them. So the 1st of April, which I have, this is the planets on the 1st of April. This is what I've put up there. So, and the moon's going to scoot, but I'm very, very fascinated by the fact that the moon is at 27 degrees of Sagittarius, which is the galactic center. So you are right where you should be. You are in perfect time. It's at 27 degrees of Sag. All's well. All's well. So I love that validation from our angels and star family and everyone that to start off this month. And Mercury goes retrograde on the 1st, trining the moon. So you don't have to do this alone. What does any of that mean, Sarah? I'll get into it. I'm just going to give you the dates first, but I'll get into that because that's really a powerful one that says that you're not alone. So the 1st of April, Mercury goes retrograde in Aries at 27 degrees. Just make notes, and I will go back over every single one of these. I'll try to not go into it. So on the 5th of April, Venus goes into Aries. On the 8th of April, we have a ridiculously powerful new moon eclipse in Aries, conjunct Chiron. Then there's nothing astrologically that I'm following or that is important for myself and my practice until the 19th of April. So we have a good breadth of time after that eclipse to really let the dust settle, whatever happens. The 19th is the sun goes into Taurus. We start Taurus season. The 20th of April, we have that super duper exciting conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus at 21 degrees. I already have part 1 about my description of that video. I'll put the link for that below, and just showing looking at how specific astrology can be. So we'll do a part 2 of that coming up and just go over my little at-home map, and we'll talk about that later, but that's an exciting time. So there's a reference for you there if you're interested in that conjunction. The 23rd of April, we have a full moon in Scorpio at 4 degrees. It's not an eclipse. So I'm just usually full moon in Scorpio, what is going to happen? But now I'm just oh, thank God. No, that'll be so bland compared to what we're experiencing right now. The 25th, we are going to have Mercury going direct in Aries at 15 degrees. Just jot this down. I'll talk about all of it. The 29th, we have Venus going into Taurus. So Venus is scooting. It's going to be in 3 different signs for the month of April. That's exciting. And I really like that. We'll talk about that later. And the 30th, we have Mars going into Aries. Yeah. Oh my God, I like the song and Down with the Sickness, the wah! That's just what played in my head. I wish one day I will have a video editor that can just splice all of these things for me. But today it is Sarah as the director, producer, star, assistant, channel, content creator, all the different things. Yeah, editor, producer, just artistic director. I'm wearing all the hats right now, y'all. So there will be a day that I'll be able to splice in that video clip for you. But today is not that day. But so soon. I'm so grateful. So Okie dokie. Now let's get into the astrology, and we'll just take a look at the lenses of how we're going to be feeling or how you might be feeling. This is just, an offering for you. So it's never saying, this is exactly how you're going to be feeling. There are many times that extremely powerful transits and conjunctions have happened in my chart, and I'm like, and then nothing really big happens. It was really just when you do the work and when you kind of listen and follow the moon and give and receive and give and take and do all of these things. This is a map. This is a roadmap for how you might be feeling, how you might be experiencing life. Our birth chart is a real beautiful amalgamation of why we are the way we are, but it does not define us. It is a map. We are the map makers. We can choose to utilize these energies. We can flow with the current. We can go with the planets and follow the sun and follow the moon. Or you can choose whatever we are allowed to have free will on this planet. Yeah, I can pick up my water and I can drink my water, or I can pick up coffee and I can drink my coffee. I can eat my pineapple. I can eat my, little energy ball. I can choose whichever which way. So let's talk about the astrology and get into each date. So over here we have the general wheel. Starts in Aries and moves all the way around over to Pisces. Even if you know nothing of astrology, and the moon scoots, so we're not going to talk fully about the moon, just everything else save the moon. You know nothing of astrology. Down here, this is the roots of the tree of our life. These are cultural family roots. Safety is key. Over here is our more public life. Over here are relationships, the descendant sign, and this is our soul purpose, our ascendant sign, where we want to do things on our own. So as you can see, there's an ever so slight focus right now on self and purpose and soul purpose. In natal charts, if you have, and these aren't all, this isn't like a stellium, but there's just a lot of focus. When you have 1 or 2 planets in a house, normal, it's an important house for you. No planets in the house, you're like, easy peasy, all's well. But if you have 3 or more, that can become obsessive. That can become self-centered and self-sacrificial. That can become a lot. So I like to offer the astrology and integrate it into a growth mindset, because if you're feeling every single day that you're waking up and you're like, I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing in this world. I have no idea why I'm even here. Why am I alive? What's going on? Why? Why me? 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 That's why. So I love astrology because it helps me take the pressure off, and it helps to remind me of, oh, okay, all's well. But then at the same time, we have the lens of astrology, we have the lens of a growth mindset, we have the lens of entrepreneurship and the lens of being a pioneer. We also have the lens of the planet itself receiving so much solar activity. And please do your own research on solar flares, on, the area in space where the planet is right now. We as human beings are receiving so much energy, more than our great-great-grandparents did, more than we did in 2018. I think, one of my favorite astrologers, Pam Gregory, she speaks so eloquently of, the solar flares and all of the different things that are coming. And she had said that, in one day, and I don't remember what day it was in 2024, but we've already had this day, we received like 3 X-class solar flares. And in 2018, we didn't even receive 1 in the entire year. So if you feel like sleeping is a food group, like sometimes you just gotta scroll, and sometimes you just gotta do nothing, or sometimes you can't even get out of bed, sometimes you can't even, if it's, my guides are reminding us right now that there's a difference between having a mental health experience and upgrades. And so finding the balance within that, and definitely always show up. Like, for example, I did not want to go to the gym this morning in any capacity, but that's a part of my routine. That's a part of my daily get up, go to the gym, do the thing. And I will be an advocate forever. And also, if you need an accountability buddy at the gym, please, if you're Gloucester local, call me and let me know. We can dance around the gym together, and I'll just get you feeling all sorts of nice. I'll introduce you to some people, so you're never alone in that capacity. If you're interested, please reach out directly. I know the gym can be super duper intimidating, but I'm literally hopping around with 2 different color socks, and just like, I finally found a gym that is so loving and welcoming and accepting and very hardworking. So I would love to offer that to you. If you're interested, we can have an exercise together. I'm happy to do that. But, I went in, I went to the stretch room, I stretched a whole bunch. I did, the movement patterns. Like, I'm just like starting back into like a new repetitive pattern of wanting my body to do something that I've never done before. So I have to do that movement every single day, because it's not just going to happen in my mind. I have to show up every day and do the thing. And so it was, to someone else, to an outsider, it might have looked like a C+ workout. But to me, I showed up. I don't really care. I show up every day. So never let the judgments of other people stop you from doing your thing. And really, I've heard it the first time that Terry Crews had said it, but it's a big thing within the gym community. Like, treat the gym like the spa. If you show up and do a few different things or read a magazine and then leave, it's a part of your routine. It's a part of your process. Growth is not linear. We know this. So especially within, the reason I'm saying all this is especially within these cuckoo pants energies, and you're not really sure what is going on and you don't know what to do, have a routine. And it doesn't have to be, set your intention. What do you mean by that, Sarah? So I've set my intention that every day I speak Italian. Every day. I would love for it to be for an hour every day that I utilize Italian, that I am in front of my books, that I'm doing a Duolingo, that I'm speaking Italian. I would love for it to be an hour. But if I speak Italian every single day, I am putting a little bit to it. You want to write your book, write a line every single day. You want to, practice, like for myself, getting back into singing and piano. And so I've decided that's a 3-day-a-week thing. That's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Monday, Friday, Saturday, whatever it may be. But it's on the calendar. It's there. Yeah, I have my calendar right here. So it's like, if it's not on the calendar, it's not going to happen, that type of a mindset. And if you're, more spiritual and you're at this table, like, this is really, we integrate leadership and growth mindset things, leadership, growth, and development into our woo-woo. So that's a big thing. Grab your calendar, put it on paper, put it in the journal. It's not going to happen if you keep pushing it out there. When, as soon as. No, that future version of you, what do they do? Okay, I got a little off course there. So day 1, we have Mercury going retrograde in the sign of Aries at 27 degrees, trining the moon at the galactic center. What does that mean, Sarah? That means that whatever you believe of the stars, your multidimensional family, your spirit family, your higher self, it means that in the midst of these ridiculous times, you have galactic support. You have so much help. You have so much guidance. So we don't dread transits. We don't dread Mercury retrograde. As leaders, we know we don't sign big contracts during a Mercury retrograde. We don't make massive life-changing decisions based on intellect alone. This is a time to really, I live in an East Coast island, so I think of red, right, returning. Like, what are all the retrograde, all the R words? Like, revisit, go inward. Something's not slapping. What's going on there? And so, doopity-doo, does it day. So look at where, 15 degrees of Aries and 27 degrees of Aries falls in your chart, because that's where you get that little windshield wiper. So, we had, and where is Mercury right now as I record this? As I record this, Mercury's at 23 degrees. So she's slowing down. So what do you mean by that? So Mercury went to 27 degrees, and then it's going to go back, revisit to 15 degrees of Aries, and then it'll go direct at 15 degrees of Aries. So that chunk of Aries between 15 degrees and 27 degrees, we get extra Mercury, extra downloads. Mercury is our Hermes, it's our collective, like how we receive our messages, how we communicate. So there's going to be spicy words out there. We know that with Mercury and Aries. It's like, Why the F are you crying? I just told you that you just really suck at that. You should do something else. Why are you crying? It's just nobody has the filter right now. So expect that. Know that that's there. Know that that's how we feel. All the things. All the things. So that's happening on the 1st. That's super duper exciting. And again, the moon scoots. The moon will be moving its way along. But it's just, I thought it was like, oh, auspicious. You got galactic help. That's exciting. Okie dokie. On the 5th, we have Venus, our love and abundance and our beautiful yin planet, how we receive, going into Aries. Spice it up in the good way. Sorry, this new chair, I just feel like an absolute queen goddess, but it's a little bit lower, and I just get to like just sit and just do all the little things. So I apologize, I'm all hopped up on caffeine. It's a beautiful thing. So when Venus goes into the sign of Aries, what did I write? Spice it up in a good way. If you are in a divine partnership, we've been talking about it for a little while, utilize these really powerful energies in your relationship in a really new and healthy way. And, this will just be for the adults for a moment, like really try on a new scene, have some new safety words, try something on that's a little bit more, Venus. Aries is run by Mars. So Venus going into the Mars is going to be an intense type of an energy. So utilize it for your healthy benefits. And again, for my people that are in between partners and that have not found their divine feminine or divine masculine counterpart just yet, put it into the gym, find a new exercise program or join a community and, get a coach, get somebody new. That could be a really great way to utilize this energy, is getting an accountability buddy and, having somebody to work out with, or maybe even going for walks in the woods and saying, hey, friends, do you want to come with me? I really want to start integrating a little bit more healthy habit into my life. Do you want to go for a walk once a week? That could be a really wonderful new thing that you can utilize right now. Just a thought, Venus, love, wonder, and abundance. And definitely don't, and this has to do with relationships right now. Since, it's right now as I'm recording this is the full moon eclipse. So as you can see in your own life, relationships are very drastically changing. That, I have a whole video on that. It's in the toolbox. Definitely go check out that playlist called The Toolbox and watch the video Relationships Are Drastically Changing. I'm not going to put the link below. It's in the toolbox. It's very accessible. So definitely go check that out, because that has to do with the nodal transit, the north node and the south node over here. And they're only at like 15 degrees. They're only halfway through this transit. That's going to be in these signs until January 2025. So we still have the remainder of 2024 to really be in that understanding. But because the eclipses are happening on this axis, one of the eclipses I think is in Pisces, but it's on like the 1st and the 7th for the most part, because that's where the nodes are. It all has to do with the moon when we follow the moon. This is about self in relationships. So why I said all that is because I don't want you to call someone that is not in your VIP circle or that you do not want in your life to be your accountability buddy on these new exercise programs, on these going for the walk in the woods. I don't want you to have these moments of, I really don't like this person, but I kind of need somebody to walk with in the woods, so I'm going to call them anyways. No, don't do that. Don't diminish your light. Don't diminish yourself in any capacity. It's going to be, if your relationships are changing, and this isn't for everybody, but my guides are just saying that if your relationships are changing, there will be a moment where it's you at the table of healthy people. Because you've set the table for healthy people, and they've said this before, you've set the table for healthy people to be at the table. And you've removed all the unhealthy people. Be in that. Be in that moment. Don't go out into the woods if you don't feel safe or comfortable. Go to somewhere where you walk in the back shore. You're not alone there. You can definitely do that. Go somewhere where you do feel safe and supported. Have a weapon on you so you feel a little bit better. It's okay to protect yourself in this ever-changing world, but do not, I repeat, do not vibrationally diminish yourself and be amongst people that are not meant for your most authentic timeline. Don't do it. Mercury retrograde. As always, exes could message back. You could easily go back to an ex because you're like, this feels weird and awkward. I just need hugs. No. Call a friend, a buddy, or, like ask like a stranger. I'd rather you hug a stranger and say, I really just need a hug right now. Call me, Jesus. But no, do not diminish yourself. For the love of God, no. No, no, no. Okay, so on the 8th, we have the new moon eclipse in Aries conjunct Chiron, WTF. So I will have a complete introductory video for that. I will be going over everything in my Patreon group, my new moon and full moon workshops group. It's a $10 a month investment and I offer a 7-day free trial. It is literally evolving to be way more than just a workshop group. So definitely go check that out. I don't even know what is going to happen. I am not prophesizing anything in this video in any capacity. Just the lenses that I can say is the sun and the moon conjunct Chiron as a new moon, because we plant seeds for what we do want normally on new moons. But as I've said before, in eclipse portals, we literally give the reins over to God, the God of our understanding, and say, if my soul has gone off course, this is when you get slapped back on track. But Chiron is our wounded healer, it's our wounded warrior. It's the wound inside of ourselves. It's that little like wince. And being in the sign of Aries, that I am statement, it can be super duper awkward sometimes when we're creating a world that we've never created before. You can't always spend time with family. You can't always spend time with people. And that doesn't make sense. But, think of it as, oh my God, I'm having a full body reaction to this. Like, think of it as the people in your life that you list. Like, who are the 5 most important people to you? Those are the 5 that are getting in your covered wagon or your ship and you going out as a pioneer. Someone that's 8 out of 10 for you, they're on their own ship. So don't try to invite them on yours where they don't belong on yours. This is not egoic. This is not like you and your high tower being like, you're not meant for my timeline. You have to stay over there and your ship over there. No, that's an equal reaction. If they're not meant for you, you're not meant for them. Done. Absolutely. No question. No question. No questions. So don't diminish yourself to feel safe. You'll just end up feeling lonelier and have to do more energetic unwinding from that timeline that you're stepping into. Yeah, you can choose any timeline to be on your highest, the middle, the lowest, and every day we step off track and we have all different timelines and all different things in the multiverse and in the quantum space. So, but I've done it. I'm a mystic. I've gone off course so many times. I'm like, this is, I could teach it to someone one day, but just, do it if you want, have fun if you want, but I don't recommend it always. So I will get into all of that. There is so much information already available, complimentary on YouTube, channelers that I like, Pam Gregory, Ann Tucker, Evan Nathaniel Graham, Lewis Howes for personal growth and development, leadership growth and development, Contact, the School of Greatness. So those are my favorite little realms and circles. So definitely go check any of them out. And just know that if it's fear-based and it feels really scary or overwhelming or just super duper too much, then don't listen to it. This isn't about the people that I watch and listen to, if they're presenting information that is lowering your vibration, it's not for you. And if you are watching stuff that has been fear-based for a long time or divisive in some way, turn it off right away. Just turn it off. Just thank me later and turn it off. If something is going to happen, don't tell me that you need to be, informed if something's going to happen. If something's going to happen, you're going to know about it. Truly. Yeah. Like, I do not sleep with my phone in the room with me. My phone is on vibration. It is in the kitchen. And so if anything, and like when I first started that, I was like, what if something happens, Sarah? I'll be like, then you'll know about it. Someone will knock on your door. Somebody needs me. They'll find me. I'm not worried about that anymore in any capacity. So I don't want you to be either. Okie dokie. Let the dust settle. The 19th, we'll have the sun going into Taurus. I'll be very excited about that after this entire hullabaloo where we have absolutely no idea what's going to happen. So it's kind of like, this is the fog that for a lot of people we've been feeling since childhood. That was channeled. That was interesting. I'm having a full body reaction to that. So, okay, they want me to share. As a child, I prophesized many things as a child. I was very bright and very telepathic at the beginning. And there's a whole playlist on my human story. I'm not even going to get into it. Waking up post-woke. So definitely go check that out. But what my guides are showing me, and when I'm talking to you, they give me a screen over here, and then I usually have another universe over here. So if I ever look like that's why, just for new people here. When I was a girl, there was like this break in the view that I had of my life, where everything was normal, and all of a sudden there was like a door to Oz, and it was just magical. It was beautiful. It was, skipping down the boulevard and, with like feathers, and it was like a circus performer, and it was just all of these like beautiful, auspicious things. All of these beautiful, auspicious things. But I could never say when, or this is going to happen, or this, or like I could never see what like the break in chapters is. Kind of like when you're reading a book and you had no idea that there was like a part 2 or an act 2, and there's like 2 pages is like the end of the chapter, and then like 1 empty page, and then it was like act 2. That's what we're in right now. So for a lot of people, definitely go back and look at, that's something that my guides want you to write down, is go back and look at, when you were a child, what did you think, like 5, 6, 7, 8 max, they were saying, like, what did you think the world was like? What did you want to be? What did you want to do? What did you want to experience? What did you see yourself doing? Because that's what we're in right now, is that page break. Yeah, I have like my Akashic record keeper here, version of myself, basically. She's saying this is a really exciting and powerful time, that a lot of old contracts are ending, soul contracts are ending, and a lot of very, highly elevated timelines that we chose are coming to light. And the light workers that are alive right now, we really chose this. We chose this in a way that we didn't care what our human was really going to experience, and like how powerful. We didn't know how powerfully emotions would be, because we'd never experienced human emotions. We'd never been in time and space. We'd never had a lag between, manifesting, like thinking the manifestation and having it come to us. So this is when things are just going to like come in hot. So just breathe. Just breathe and expand into it. Expand into, if there is an experience that feels otherworldly and our human is going to have a little bit of a fear-based reaction at first, just breathe. Breathe and listen to your soul, they're saying. Just sit down, stop, drop, and meditate, and just breathe into your soul and breathe into your belly breath, and just know that this is all happening in perfect time, in perfect trust. Everything is on course, everything's on course, everything's in time. Yeah, just be in it. Just be in it, and just be quiet in it. Yes, super. I love my guides so much. Okay, the 20th of April, where are we even? Jupiter conjunct Uranus and Taurus. I just wrote so much lightning, so much energy, so much excitement. And it's exceptional that like a lot of like the big days are happening on Mondays. Like both the eclipses are on a Monday. Mercury goes retrograde on a Monday, and then this is happening on a Saturday. So I find that to be very, very auspicious and very, very exciting. It just shows to me that it's going to be a party. This is going to be fun. This is going to be wonderful. And I had a subscriber comment that, on my Uranus and Jupiter conjunction video, and I've put the link for that below. She's like, her guides aren't telling her anything either. Like, that was really a call for me to try to weasel around my guides and be like, what downloads for me are you getting? Because it's pretty auspicious in my chat. Pretty auspicious. But it's just going to be, like, look where 21 degrees of Taurus falls in your chart, and it's almost as if you can expect that lightning will strike there. Pardon me, I just burped. That's what they're saying, and that's all they want to give right now. Okie dokie. So on the 23rd, we're going to have a full moon eclipse in Scorpio at 4 degrees. So at that point in time, the sun will be right here at 4 degrees of Taurus, and then the full moon will be over here in Scorpio. Deep transformation, death and rebirth. This is the lions and tigers and bears portion of your chart, wherever Scorpio falls in your chart. But this house is about shared possessions, contracts, wills, you know, the community that you live in. It has to do with sex, sensuality. And so we'll be back to our normal full moon and new moon programming up until eclipse season coming up later on this year. It's every 6 months or so. So that to me says, well, sorry, my guides are very expressive right now, so thank you for being here with me. They're saying be open to your new guides coming in. Like think of Halloween season and, you know, you'll go to a shaman or you'll go to a tarot reader, you know, they're showing me with your Ouija board. Like what if that was available at all times? And just be open to your guides, be open to the galactic teams that are helping for you during this extensive time period. And it's like, okay, they're giving me a light language healing, so I'm just going to step into that super duper quick and just let you experience that, and I'll see what comes through as well, because it's just taking over powerfully. Like I said, I'm recording this on the eclipse, so it's just like I'm half in human and half in. So if this is not for you, just skip over this portion. It'll just be a light language healing. And, you know, I always set the intention that we are grounded, that we, you know, are... If you need to pause this video, time out and just ground yourself before we get started. But they just want me to give this healing, so I want to do this right now. Rishu pantianko ranti yoshokopoara shikatakanora laka kushumpo roko kushupo dotona ria la kaporantatia laka tu ampaniora shitakana rantotukuia harampura laka komparaniana rachukukupura rushitiahion pona la shukupura diantana. What they're showing me is that there are galactic beings, part of your soul family, or ones that have done things to you in ways, and they are atoning for their sins, whether that be Anunnaki, whether that be reptile-based, whether that be whatever it may be, Arcturians, some beings that have been with you for a long time and have been watching you with exciting interest are going to be here to help you, take you from one space to the next, and help you hop this paradigm. So speak to them, know that they are not all your guides and will not be there forever, in the same way that Sarah has her 3 Arcturians and her 3 Greys that will not always be there for her, but are here for this time of, you know, timeline jumping. They're here to study, they're here to understand, and to offer their services in a very accessible way. Just like in team and in company, you have CEO, CFO, assistant, you have all these key players, and they are there for an appropriate reason and only for a specific amount of time and for a specific job. We have some galactic friends doing the same. Does that make sense? Haritukuraiona, haratukuriona, arahia, opa tia shukopona, aratukuya, aratukiopo, ratatoni, aratukuran tututukura. Cool beans. Awesome. Awesome. Please drink some water and take some deep cleansing breaths. I love my practice so much because it's not just astrology, it's not just healing, it's not just energy, it's not just leadership, growth, and development. It's everything kind of amalgamized into one. But, you know, I give, if you're new here or if you've just started working with me on YouTube, I pack a lot into each of my sessions, into each of my podcasts, into each of my teachings. So just know that, So don't get overwhelmed. If you want to just sit back and watch and drink coffee, that's always an option. And just let the vibrations of my voice integrate into your already busy day. And just, you know, as you sleep and then wake up tomorrow, maybe you'll have a deeper understanding of what that meant for you. So I love you. Thank you for being here for that. Alrighty, so the 25th of April, we have Mercury going direct in Aries at 15 degrees. We kind of talked about that already. So the sun will already be over here. Yeah, the sun, it will just be Chiron and the North Node and Mercury in this house. And so it'll be interesting that, you know, the North Node and Chiron in Aries, wherever that are they're falling in your birth chart, they had 1, 2, 3 hits of Mercury hitting them. So you can't mess this up. You can't mess this up. Right now, your soul is being guided, and definitely like go check out my Monday video, the one that was called What Matters Most. You can always tell it's a Monday video because the picture in YouTube is like over to the side. My horizontal, not vertical pictures, but it's called What Matters Most. Really, if you have no idea what's going on, what's happening, just be in the energy and remind yourself, like, being of service, being honest, you know, love, that matters most to me. So definitely go check that little video out. The 29th, Venus goes into Taurus. What did I write? A solve for Taurus in your chart. So this is after that conjunction of Venus and Uranus in Taurus. So, or pardon me, Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus. Venus going into Taurus, it's going to be wherever lightning struck in your chart, wherever 21 degrees of, like, it's just Venus going over Taurus or entering Taurus, and Taurus is run by Venus, so it'll be really happy there. It will just be like a nice salve, like I'm seeing us like after a day in the sun where we just need to put some aloe vera on our bodies and things like that. So it'll be a really wonderful, lovely integration. And so I do love that Venus is scooting and it's in 3 different signs in the month. That's beautiful. And then on the 30th, with Mars going into Aries, like, wah! Don't want to get down with the sickness. Mars will like being in Aries. Aries is run by Mars. Yeah, it's going to be hot energy. Everybody will be excited. It's just going to be nice and spicy and wonderful. And I'm here for that one. I love it. Our assertive planet going into the most assertive sign. And it's interesting because a natal placement of Mars in Aries is literally the most possibly unhinged, angry people. So yeah, good times, good times. But with everything that's happening beforehand and in April, I feel as though it's going to be a real like oomph in our pioneerness of saying like, oh my God, if there were to be really negative things that happen and you kind of are just like, I don't trust anybody anymore. This energy to me says we're ready to just like pick up our bootstraps and be like, okay, let's just start where we are. Let's just start where we are. Yeah. What is that? Oh my goodness, I forget. I've heard it on Tony Robbins before. Like Mars in Aries is like, is it one day or day one? I don't care how big your goal is. I want it to be scary for you. But Mars going into Aries says, this is my chart. This is my charge. I'm doing it. This is what I need to do. This is how I need to help. This is what is the path forward for me is just a little bit clearer. I feel as though at the end of April, we're all going to have a little bit more clarity as to what our, I don't want to say purpose or destiny, but what we're meant to do right now, post-eclipse season, it's just going to be a little bit different. Like the you are as you're watching this is a wildly different version of who you'll be at the end of, April. Yeah. 11 to 11. Yeah, April 1st, the sun is at 11 of Aries, and May 1st, the sun is at 11 Taurus, 11, good numbers. I'm just throwing out some numerology for you if you're interested. 27 at the beginning. Oh yeah, so day 1 of April 1st, so if 27 is a big number for you, the moon will be at 27 Sag, Mercury is at 27 Aries, Neptune is at 27 Pisces. That's super cool. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's it. I'm just going to ask my guys if there's anything else. They want you to look at your chart ruler and follow that planet a little bit more intensely. And that has to do with your rising sign. So, I am, a Scorpio rising conjunct Pluto. So Pluto is like the chart ruler for me. And so I follow Pluto. Pluto affects me pretty intensely. Pluto's this little guy up here in Aquarius. Oh, Pluto's going to be at 2 degrees of Aquarius by May 1st, 2024. And it's never been there before in our entire lifetime. So it's very, very exciting energy. We are literally pioneering the new world. We are birthing it from the inside out. We are creating in just a much more accessible, like soup. One of my dear friends and clients, and I'm a client of hers as well, we do trade, like she's like, the air is soup. And it's just so true, where if we think something and it's a thought we like, then think more about it. If we think something and it's a thought we don't like, then just scroll on past that thought and start to really look at it that way. Like, our brain is a computer program that's just like this file cabinet of all the things that we've felt before and all the things that we know and we thought, but you can rewire it, you can reprogram it. We know this information in the subconscious and the unconscious. So if a thought pops into your head, you don't have to entertain it. If an emotion pops up, you don't always have to entertain those things, and they're not always yours. They could be intrusive thoughts. They could be all of these different things. What's an intrusive thought? Like, when you're cutting vegetables and that thought pops into your brain of like, cut your thumb off. Or if you're driving down the road and you just have that weird thought of like, drive off the road. Like, those are intrusive thoughts. Those are not yours. They come from somewhere else and you don't have to entertain them. Yeah, I don't cut my fingers off every time I'm cutting vegetables. It's usually just an accident if I cut something. So just be aware of your thoughts and be able to differentiate between, thoughts and downloads and all these different things. And it's not always easy to discern, but in each breath we have a lifetime. So slow down and listen. Is this mine? Is this my higher self? Do I know how to tell the difference? Is this my future self? Is this God? Who's talking here? And it takes time and meditation and energy. So don't get overwhelmed. Just know that you do not have to entertain every single thought. If it's a resounding, listen to your body. Yeah. If it's I want to do that. Awesome. If it's I got the receipts, I'm going to respond like this. Blah, 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 blah. That's a reaction. It's a reaction. And I'm not perfect. Like, if you live in Gloucester, it's the land of no lights. So there are 2 lights just when you cross over the highway. Everywhere else, it's just a stop sign. You come up to an intersection. The local thing to do is to, hold back and let somebody go into traffic for you. And so I was driving home from the gym today, thinking about being a nice person and all the great things. And I was holding traffic for somebody to drive by. And there happened to be someone else that, I was letting somebody scoot on the right and then somebody else was coming on the left. And I was like, absolutely. And then a third person scooted it on the right. And I was like, I could peel the skin off your body, sir. Yeah. That was the first thought that popped into my head. Yeah. Oh, I'm an Aries Sun conjunct Jupiter. I'm quite activated right now. Yeah. And so I said, Sarah, that's probably not your thought. That was just a little bit of like the rage monkey that lives inside of you. And because the amalgamation of all the planets that you have, that was not really a thought to entertain. So we're not going to follow this man down the street and go find him and peel the skin off his body. We're just going to move on with our life, go home and have a nice breakfast salad. So I chose that timeline instead. But just know that I am in no way saying, do these things. I'm not feeling any of that. No. And I feel it every day. That was this morning. So, especially on the full moon. It was, yeah. Just so you know what's going on in Sarah's noggin. A lot of the times it's like the 50,000 different multidimensional versions of me just doing the I Dream of Jeannie dance. Like, do, 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 do. But that's what I have for you today, my darlings and dears. How are you feeling? What are you going through? Thank you so much for being here. Please like this video if that's something that interests you. If you do like this video, please subscribe to the channel if you're interested in more content like this one. Please share this information. That's usually the most helpful way to get this information out is, I can look a little cuckoo pants and a little ostentatious in my presentation, but I really appreciate the way that I'm able to communicate with people, regardless of whether they come just from the spiritual woo-woo space or in the entrepreneurial space and in corporate. So I'm really able to kind of blend those two things together. And it usually takes someone sharing my page or sharing information for someone that, might feel a little bit lost or a little bit like uncertain of what's going on. And so please share this video with them and say, hey, I know that this might sound a little cuckoo. I'm a leader. I was meant to go first. I'm, like the first person in my family line to do this and to really step into their full sovereignty within their like quantum channeling space and stuff like that. So let me go first. Just say, hey, I stumbled across this. Like, you might be interested in it. Just a thought. Help me help you. And ask any questions. Comment those below. Sorry, I'm getting used to my throat. I'm like, okay. Ask any questions. If there's something that you're interested in that I touched upon in this video and in any of my videos, please just timestamp it and ask for more content like that, and I'll be able to put that out there for you. Help me guide. Help me help offer the best information for you. And one of my subscribers, he had, I used to sing a little bit more in some of my videos, so I'm definitely getting back into that. It's that was a really sweet request that someone said, more singing. So I'm definitely going to incorporate that. Sometimes when I sing, especially with this microphone, I don't really know like where to put it or what to do. But yeah, it's like, what songs come into my head? Yeah. Babs for April, like. What is it? How do I even do it? Like, don't tell me not to live, just sit and putter. Life's candy and the sun's a ball of butter. Don't bring around a cloud to rain on my parade. Yeah. I think that's good for now. I'll find the right way for the right mic and stuff like that for singing, but I love you. I'm so grateful for you. Please, you're safe here to share. If you're comfortable to share, you're safe in this community. It's a really beautiful, blessed community of hardworking, balancing hard work and hard rest and all those different things. Like, we are really supportive here, and just know that this whole community is rooting for you. So you're safe to share here. You're safe to express yourself here, and let us know what you're going through. But yeah, we all love you at the table. I love you. See you soon.